Good morning and happy Saturday, April 18, everyone. Pete Lange with Tim O'Brien Homes here on location live at Wire Haven in Menomonee Falls. Hoping you're all enjoying this beautiful, sunny, although somewhat chilly April morning. Just want to get a message out to everybody that has suddenly become a lot more virtual than in person. Thank you for everything each of you is doing to keep going with life as we know it. So many people are working, so many people are working from home. We are wide open for business at Tim O'Brien Homes, although we're doing business in lots of different ways, and we know most of you can really identify with that. The sunshine probably gives us some optimism as we're caught in the push-pull of stay at home and be safe. Get the heck out and get back to work. We feel the same thing. We're open, we're working. Mercifully, real estate and construction have been considered essential industries, so we are open for business. We're operating differently. We're doing things in virtual platforms. Our trades are keeping more distance from us and more distance from each other, but our homes are under construction. We are here to help families do what families do, which is grow and move into a place that is comfortable, safe, healthy. Your life in a new home, we're here to help you do what you want to do. Today is our first 2020 Green Tour, Construction 101. We want to talk to you about some of the specific things that Tim O'Brien Homes does that make our homes green. We'll talk to you about what green really means. Hopefully, if you have questions, we'll be able to answer them during the course of this. If your question doesn't get answered, you can reach out to us. Here with Ryan Hilgartner, who's Director of Marketing for Tim O'Brien Homes. He's our cameraman, that was his hand. And also here with Amy Petrus, who's a new home sales professional for Tim O'Brien Homes, and she is the principal agent here at Wire Haven in Menomonee Falls. If you're looking for a new home in Menomonee Falls, Wire Haven, give Amy a holler. We're going to get started. Let's talk about green just a little bit. What does it mean? Everybody's advertising green today. When we talk about a green building, there are really four principal components of building green. They are materials choice and materials use. They are energy consumption and energy input. They are water consumption and water input. And then finally health and safety. So we're going to talk about our buildings and a little bit about how they contribute to each area. Since we're outside in Wire Haven on April 18th, we're going to start from the outside. We're going to start from the ground up and from the outside in. I want to talk to you about the very base of the home, the foundation, some of the things we do to manage energy, and some of the things we do to manage water. So let's cruise over to our foundation. Most people know that a foundation of a home is made of concrete. We dig a hole in the ground, we put concrete footings at the bottom of the hole, we pour an 8-inch thick concrete wall on top of those footings. That forms the wall of the basement. On the outside, you can see styrofoam insulation. That's there because we found out we do lose energy through the foundation wall, particularly the part that's between the top of the dirt and the bottom of the wooden house. That exposed box sill area loses a lot of insulation. So we put poly insulation from the top of the wall to the bottom of the wall, top of the footing. At Tim O'Brien Homes, we use an 1.5 inch styrofoam. That gives you an R7.5. We'll talk about R more. R is a shorthand term for resistance. It's a material's resistance to heat flow. Quite common, you'll see builders will use 1 inch of insulation on the outside of the basement wall. We're using an 1.5 R7.5. Behind the insulation, also really important, the outside of the wall has dirt against it. The inside of the wall is open. That's your basement area. Dirt typically contains water. One of the great fears most people have, or one of the great nuisances people have about a home sitting on top of a basement is water in my basement. There's a lot of technology that can be used to prevent the movement of water through a foundation wall and into your basement. Old technology was we would spray some tar-like substance on the outside of the wall, sort of like a rain jacket on the outside of the wall. Not a requirement in Wisconsin. You could put the foundation insulation right up against the bare concrete wall if you want to, and trust that grading and drainage are going to carry the water away from the basement. New technology is a drainage screen on the outside of the basement wall. So we're using the Cosella Dorkin Delta MS product, which is a heavy plastic mat that goes right on the outside of the wall from dirt down to the top of the footing. It's heavier than the thickness of like a pop bottle. It's a strong plastic screen that's going to prevent the travel of moisture from the dirt. The cool thing about Delta MS is it's dimpled. The dimples actually hold the barrier away from the wall, so mostly what's next to your foundation wall is air. That helps as an insulator, and it also helps the wall to dry to the outside. I did a little cutting here. We're going to have to repair some foundation insulation, but we'll show you what Delta MS looks like on the outside of the foundation wall. We get in close. This is the cap that's bonded to the basement wall, and then here's our dimply heavy plastic drain. Most of that drain screen creates an air barrier between the foundation insulation and your basement wall. So if moisture's in the wall, because moisture's in concrete from its birth, it can dry to the outside. If moisture gets into the wall from the inside, how would that happen? Because humans generate water vapor. That wall can dry to both sides. It's a drier, more comfortable, guaranteed dry basement. 10 to 15 years, depending on the applicator. Delta MS, an 1.5" R7.5 foam insulation, super valuable to us on the outside of our basement wall. Moving on up, you'll see more foam. We're going to talk quite a bit about this. This is putting the jacket on the outside for the winter time. We'll talk about that on the inside, but we're double sheathing our walls at Tim O'Brien Homes, some of it for strength, some of it for energy. Remember, one of the components of building green is energy. How much energy do I put in the home, and how fast does it leave? Exterior foam sheathing, huge component of that. Finally, on the outside of the wall, a house wrap, a weather-resistant barrier. It is a requirement in Wisconsin. There's a bunch of ways you can accomplish it. You can do it with the sheathing, having a waterproof characteristic to it, and the sheets of sheathing being taped together. You can do it with various and sundry. There's a lot of products on the market. House wraps. We like DuPont's Tyvek. We like to put the letters on upside. No, usually put the letters on right side up. You'll see it elsewhere. But we really like DuPont's Tyvek, and we'll talk about why. Tyvek is a moisture-resistant barrier. I've got rain slashing up against this because rain gets behind siding. Rain doesn't go through Tyvek. If I have water vapor on the inside, we'll talk about it. Water vapor does get through Tyvek. Vapor can pass through, bulk moisture can't. Tyvek's also an awesome air barrier. Tyvek drain wrap has the crinkles built in. When it goes behind a cement product, cement siding product, any water that does pass behind, all siding leaks, brick leaks, vinyl leaks, hardy plank leaks, LP Smart Side leaks, it all leaks. Tyvek drain wrap keeps the water out. The crinkles help it to go down. We let gravity work for us by using the crinkled drain wrap. Window installation, using the Tyvek details as well, keeping that bulk moisture on the outside of the building. Let's go around the corner here just a little bit and talk about materials some more. When we talk about green, one of the big words we use in green is sustainability. Sustainability. How long can I keep it going? How long can this last? We're asking this about Safer at Home right now. How long can this last? How long can I keep this up with how much input? How long can I eat McDonald's 3 meals a day and not need a surgery? How long can I sit on my sofa and watch Netflix and not grow to the point where it hurts to walk up and down stairs? How long can I keep a building standing with how much maintenance, how much replacement, how much input on my part? That's what sustainability is about. It's really about durability and operating cost in a new home. Green equals sustainable. The choice of materials that are going to last a long time, the choice of the quantities of materials that are put in various places in the home, not using too much in one place, too little in the other. It's a lot of decision making and a really big equation that involves the choices of materials that go in the home, products that go in the home that deliver the best overall sustainability. We want to talk again. Tyvek provides us sustainability because it keeps water out of the house. Water tends to decay houses, keeps it out. Exterior maintenance is a huge concern. With pre-finished sidings and choices of trim materials like LP Smart Trim, we can keep the input required by the owner. How much do I have to put in to keep it going? We can keep those inputs to a minimum. So I want to just talk about LP Smart Trim for a second. Our trim's already on. We get it onto the building before we put the siding on. This has already been primed before it was put on, and it's already been painted. It looks like wood. It has the beauty and the character of wood. It's a product made from wood, but it is used on recycled product. So this is LP Smart Trim. It is a wafer board. It contains some really fantastic adhesives, which cause it to have a great stability, dimensional stability and water resistant stability. Holds paint because it doesn't expand and contract like wood. It doesn't absorb moisture like wood does. It holds paint very well. This is really the only input our customers are going to have to put on the outside of their building, is perhaps painting their exterior trim over 5 years time frame if they wish to, but we're getting incredible durability out of this LP Smart Trim. That's the exterior trim on the building. Talked about Tyvek being an awesome water barrier. We talked about Tyvek being an awesome vapor permeable. It allows water vapor to escape, but the other thing about Tyvek is it is an excellent air barrier. What we learned in making houses more energy efficient was that insulation is important. What I put inside the walls, what I put on the walls is important, so that if I heat a building, the heat doesn't leak out really quickly. We learned that probably as important as insulation is air infiltration. If I can control air movement, think about a thermos, think about an insulated cup. It's 2 sections of cup wall separated by a sealed airspace, and that's what keeps my coffee warm. If I can seal against air movement, I can have a building's energy efficiency go upward. So you'll see that we put Tyvek on the wall between the house and the garage. We don't need it for the rain there, but we do it for air infiltration purposes. So something that's really important to us at Tim O'Brien Homes. Air infiltration equals energy efficiency. Let's go on inside. So we're inside our Kendall Ready home on lot 95 at Wirehaven. Just a short plug that this is a home that we've built as a ready home. There is no particular buyer attached to this one. Amy chose all of the features and finishes for this home and has it on the market for you today. We'll give you a close look inside of the things we do in a Tim O'Brien home that deliver value on the green platform of materials, energy, water, and health and safety. Let's talk about a huge topic. How do you build your walls? How How do you guys build your walls? You guys use 2x4s, you guys use 2x6s, etc., etc. It's an ongoing debate. We use 2x4s in construction. 2x4s have been a standard unit of home construction for hundreds of years. So when we get questions about 2x6s, they come in sort of two forms. One being, hey, 2x6s are stronger. The other being, hey, 2x6s provide better insulation. 2x6s are better for energy. And I want to suggest that because the 2x4 has been the standard unit of construction for hundreds of years, the strength is there in a 2x4 wall. When 2x6s became popular in heating climates during the late 1970s, during the Arab oil embargo, we realized energy costs were going up, sustainability was going down. How long can I keep my house heated with how much input? When the cost of input goes up, I've got to do some response to have that input cost as low as possible. So when gas became more expensive, I got to waste less energy. How can I make houses waste less energy? The thinking of the day in the late 1970s was, well, let's make the walls thicker. Let's put more fluffy stuffing in the walls. Fiberglass insulation's been a standard for a number of years. If I make more room for fiberglass insulation inside my walls, I can make my jacket, throw on another blanket because it's cold in my bedroom, throw on a thicker jacket because I'm cold, I can make the house warmer. And in fact, that technology worked pretty well, but it cost extra lumber. It cost extra lumber. In the late 1970s, we also had people walking around in great big puffy down jackets when we went to the ski hill. The same technology that applied to keeping people warm was applied to keeping houses warm. Today, we have products like Thinsulate. The highest tech fabrics and the highest tech insulation are not relying on greater bulk to keep us warm. They're relying on air infiltration control, same way that we do with the house. We're relying on new technology. So we're back to the thinner wall, the 2x4 standard unit of residential construction for hundreds of years, but we're making different choices about where the insulation goes. One of our energy consultants asked us this question. It's 46 degrees in Wisconsin. I'm going to go for a motorcycle ride. On my way out my back door, I grab my jacket. I have two choices. I can put it on, or I can eat it. What would keep me warmer? We think putting the jacket on is probably going to keep me warmer. The analogy in residential construction is I could put more stuffing in the wall, I could build a thicker wall, and I could put more stuffing in the wall, or I could put the jacket on the outside. So I showed you the foam sheathing on the outside of our wall. We're putting the jacket on the outside, not only providing warmth and insulation out where the weather is, also providing some additional air resistance as well. We are double sheathing our walls at Tim O'Brien Homes. So there's foam on the outside, and then there's still good old OSB on the inside. What is the perfect wall design? There's no answer. When we have 6 degrees in Wisconsin part of the year, and we have 96 degrees in Wisconsin other parts of the year, there is no perfect wall system. There's actually no perfect house design. It's a process of making decisions, making compromises, making decisions about how products will work together. We believe this wall design provides a lot of value in terms of energy efficiency. What's the great value to the customer? It's comfort. So you're going to see a 2x4 wall, 1/2-inch oriented strand board sheathing against the studs, 1 1/8 inch foam board insulation to the outside, and the tie-back. The jacket is on the outside of the home, keeping that energy managed to what we believe is the best possible strategy. So, talk a little bit about more energy consumption, energy usage. Where does heat go? Typically up, right? Warm air goes up. We're doing things like raising the heel on the roof trusses so that the blanket that we put in the attic has the opportunity to be thicker toward the outside. We still are using some thick blanket technology in our attic spaces. How are we doing on time? Good? What else can I talk to you about in new home green construction? Let's talk about windows, another huge topic. People ask us, what kind of windows do you use? We're using the Lange Earthwise window. Some window technology that has developed over a number of years are double glazed windows. Very, very common, pretty popular in this marketplace. 2 sheets of glass separated by a sealed airspace. Again, the thermos bottle analogy. 2 surfaces separated by a sealed airspace. Lange windows, Earthwise windows, that airspace contains not air, but argon gas. Argon is a better insulator than air. And then the inside surface of the outside glass also contains, believe it or not, a thin coating of silver, elemental silver, Ag. And silver, you can't see that it's a mirror. It's a very, very thin coat of silver, but reflects solar energy when the sun is at a high angle, as in the summertime. Allows some solar energy to pass in when the sun is at a low angle, as in the wintertime. So that's called low E, that's low emissivity. It allows us to take advantage of the sun part of the year. It allows us to reflect the sun other parts of the year. Could we spend more on windows? We could. Could we get maximum energy efficiency by using better windows? We like to say the window is still the energy leakiest part of the home. Again, building green involves a compromise of choices, and people ask us, why don't you use a triple glazed window? And why don't you use a wood frame window? We could. What we have to consider is, where do we put our dollar chips in each of those areas? Where do we put our dollars on materials? Where do we put our dollars on energy consumption? Where do we put our dollars on water consumption? And where do we put our dollars on health and safety? We think this represents an outstanding compromise, has great air infiltration characteristics. We always will tell you the window is still the air leakiest and still the heat leakiest part of the wall. Even the finest window, way more heat's going to leave here than it's going to leave here through my jacketed part of the wall. So we have to make some decisions and compromises about that. All new homes have to be fashionable. All new homes have to be beautiful. We're including lighting throughout the home that accentuates the beautiful spaces inside. You're going to see included with all of our lighting 100% LED lamps included. You've got back to sustainability, back to long term. How long can it last? How long can I keep it going? LED lighting lasts much, much longer, and LED lighting costs much less energy to keep going. We're using EPA water sense fixtures inside the home so that your faucets, toilets, etc., are using the right amount of water resource. We're not overusing water resource, we're using the right amount. You're going to see us use Energy Star appliances in the home so that we are not using excess energy to wash our dishes, excess energy to wash our clothes. So lots of those choices go together to deliver you the greatest possible value in terms of long-term durability and sustainability. We want the home to last a long time with minimal input on the part of the consumer. Cool? I invite you to reach out to us with questions. Feel free to hit us up on Facebook, like us on Facebook. Come and see Amy or any one of our new home sales professionals. You can get us online. We're meeting with customers on Zoom right now. We're meeting with customers on FaceTime right now. This home is available for virtual tour. Anytime you get a hold of Amy, she can arrange to get you into this home virtually. We are meeting with families in person still. You can meet one family at a time right now. So open houses in the traditional sense, open models in the traditional sense, not a thing for us or our other builder partners in this marketplace, but we are open for business. If you have interest in this, if your family has a need or situation where you're looking for a new home that's the greatest value, delivers you this health and safety, delivers you this material smart resource consumption, delivers you a home that's energy smart and energy efficient, what's the greatest benefit of energy smart and energy efficient? It's comfort. It's really comfort. A home that, if I tell the thermostat to be 72 degrees, it's 72 degrees more places in the house because of the energy efficient design and the energy efficient construction that we're doing. So your family's comfort, you can see how much light comes into these homes, you can see how the space is laid out. Let's take a walk, just finish up and take a walk through our Kendall. We'll go back to the front door. One of the things we brag about at Tim O'Brien Homes a lot is space in the right place and building for the way you live. It's not something that Ryan just came up with on his own. We've really made a lot of choices in the way we lay out our floor plans to avoid wasted space. 15 years ago as a builder, our front foyer was the showplace of the home. You walk in the front door and you'd see a soaring two-story foyer, this gigantic sort of lobby-like space. And what we found was that was not a good use of materials or not a sustainable use of resources. We always say the family would move into that home and the practical father-in-law would be there the first weekend and say, you know, who changes those light bulbs up there? Who's going to clean that window? You know you're paid to heat all that and you can't even live up there. So Tim was one of the first builders that really made a lot of choices to say, if people can use it and people can enjoy it and people can get value out of it every single day, I'm going to include it in my homes. If it's just there for show, it's too costly for a customer to spend extra for a showy feature that they cannot use. So you're going to notice the foyer in our Kendall is spacious, but it's not overdone. What we try to overdo or try to, again, do the right amount of, use resources in the right place, is our rear foyer. Why? Because you're going to pull into your attached garage. You're going to come in through your service door from the garage to the home. That's where life happens. That's where building for the way you live comes into play. So you're going to see things like the drop zone in our rear foyer, lockers in our rear foyer, more space in the rear foyer than in the front foyer because you use that every day. Our front foyer is gracious and welcoming, but we know you're going to have guests come in that front door a handful of times a year. You're going to go in the rear foyer every day. My rear foyer, my Kendall, has got space for my lockers, space for a drop zone, laundry's here. Laundry's got closet space, coats, boots, shoes, hats, mittens, keys, purses, mail, etc. I can deal with this all back here. Outside the public living areas of the home, have life happen as life happens. Front foyer's there, coming up. My rear foyer gets used every day. Coming out of the rear foyer, you're going to see us using central air returns. The concept actually has had its rebirth in central air returns versus individual air returns. If we can pull the old air out of a room in one piece of ductwork instead of pulling the old air out of individual rooms in lots of pieces of ductwork, we can promote the efficiency. I can get the old air back to the furnace or air conditioner more quickly, more easily, more consistently, and I can deliver fresh, conditioned air in the same, more efficient manner. So some things you're going to see. Style and design, certainly on everybody's watch list right now, so you will see things like tray ceilings in our master bedrooms. We like to joke and say, we've done exhaustive studies and we found that 0% of home buyers ever move into a house and think there's too much storage space. So you're going to see things like dual walk-in closets, one accessible from the master bedroom, one accessible from the master bathroom, from the owner's suite. Space in the right place, space where you'll use it. Smart features like two-bowl vanities. We've got to have style and design. We've got to have beauty. So, of course, we're doing things like tile showers, 5-foot tile shower with a bench. So I can shake. No. Space in the right place. Split design. Again, we don't pretend to invent it quite a bit. So master suite on one end of the building, owner suite, secondary bedrooms elsewhere. You see beautiful features like the Kohler Sterling 4-piece shower module. Tub's got a real generous depth, beautiful style and design. That's the table stakes. We got to do it. We got to do it. So our homes are beautiful, but we're hoping that we're showing you some things that are behind the walls, inside the structure, in the overall thought out process of things that make us different, that make us a better value in terms of sustainability and in terms of green. So I want to thank you. If you've spent time with us on Facebook Live, I want to thank Amy for all of her great work. She's moving families into Wire Haven every single day. I want to thank Ryan for his great work, communicating to us in really evolving into more of a digital platform, communicating with people virtually. I want to thank all of you, any of you who tuned in to us. Feel free to like us. Feel free to reach out to us and come see us as soon as you can, whether it's virtually or in person. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great day.